Welcome back to the channel, everybody, outside our lane. And today we're going to have kind of a continuation of the last video with the sumac aid that we made. We're going to take the remaining sumac berries that we had, we're going to concentrate them into a liquid, and we're going to make jelly. So y'all stay tuned. I'll give you step by step on how to make the sumac jelly. Well, Eli is hooked up.
We got it here clanking, Coco.
Several different ways.
I've got it set line.
What kind of spurs you got? Alright, first thing I want to do is give you a breakdown on what we've got here. This is the concentrated liquid. I took the berries that we made the sumac aid out of, and I put that in a large container, and I added the rest of the berries that we had. I let that sit overnight. Then I brought it to a simmer. Didn't boil it, because remember about the tannin. You don't want to bring it to a boil, because it brings out the tannins in the stems. So I ended up with about 3 quarts in here, but I added 3 cups of water as well, because it was concentrated. It really had a lot of ascorbic acid in it, so I added 3 more cups of water. I've got 1 batch in here. I've got 4 cups of juice plus 1 cup of water in there, and I've got 8 cups of juice plus 2 cups of water in that container there. That's the color it come out to be right there. All right, here's a breakdown of things that's going to go in it. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 package of Sure Gel, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, just to break some of the ascorbic acid down. And then there'll be 5 cups of sugar that goes in 1 batch. Now I've got enough juice to make 3 batches. All right. The first thing we've got to do is we've got to bring our liquid up to a boil, and then we'll add the lemon juice. It's all right to do that before you get started. It's fine. Any of the liquids and the vanilla. Like I said before, the vanilla is just to cut down on the acidity. So we'll bring this to a boil. We'll bring it to a simmer, then we'll add the pectin, and then let that come to a rolling boil. Rolling boil is one you can't kill with a spoon while you're stirring. And once it comes to a rolling boil, then we'll add our sugar. Okay, the liquid started to simmer, so I added 1 package of pectin, and I also added 1 tablespoon of butter to keep it from foaming so bad. It's just one of the tricks that you can do to prevent foaming real bad. All the proteins will come to the surface and foam real bad if you don't do that. Don't have to, but some people do. It helps a bunch. Okay, we have a rolling boil, so I'm going to cut the heat down just a little bit. I'm going to add the sugar. And the cinnamon. Cinnamon just gives it a nice little extra bite to it. You just want to keep stirring that. Maintain a rolling boil for a minute then. Come back up to a boil, and then just let her roll for 1 minute, and then reduce your heat. In the meantime, I'll get the jars prepped. All right, we've had it at a rolling boil for about 30 seconds now. We'll go about another 30 seconds, and we'll cut the heat off that. We got our jars in a water bath over here, and that'll be beginning to boil in just a second. And we'll get a cooling rack up, and then we'll start ladling into jars. You're taking all the jars out now. I got to be careful not to burn yourself with the water. And we're going to prepare to start ladling. Okay, we've got our jars prepped. Got our jelly ready here. Now we're going to start ladling into jars. When you're making jelly, it's always smart to make one batch at a time instead of doubling up on it. Because sometimes you get a bad batch of pectin, or the planets just don't align right for some stupid reason, and they don't set. Remember last year during the pandemic, you also want to get the jelly to at least within a 1/4 inch of the top. 1/4 inch to an eighth. A little bit more. Well, like I was saying, last year during the pandemic, we were making bread and jellies and stuff, and was making some red bud jelly. And I'd made 4 or 5 batches that turned out really, really good, and had it down pretty good, using the exact same method over and over and over. And one batch, for whatever reason, just would not set. And I went over my head over and over and over, and I didn't skip any steps. It just didn't set up for whatever reason. Don't know why. Adding the cinnamon is up to you. It is something that we like in the jelly. It just has a little bit of something that we really, really like. Let me bring that up just a little bit more in this other one here too. Because it's quite, it need to be about right there. It adds the cinnamon adds just a little bit of a brownish tint to it as well. All right, we'll get this ladled up and then start a second batch. Okay, we've got the first batch done here. We'll go ahead and put the lids on those. Get the second batch on and then come back and put the rings on. Starting off with our 5 cups of liquid. Turn the heat on. We'll bring that up to a simmer, and we'll add our pectin and our butter, our lemon juice, and our vanilla. Let that come to a rolling boil. We'll add our cinnamon, and then 5 cups of sugar, and that's the 5 cups of liquid. All right, we'll get this one going. All right, while we're waiting on our liquid to boil, we'll go ahead and ring these up and get them turned upside down. We'll get them hand tight. That's hot, by the way. Stubborn. Very, very hot. Ow. Ow. Ow, some more. Ow, one less time. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. Got those rung. Waiting on this to boil. Our jars are boiling and hot there. We'll pull those out and get those racked. Get these turned upside down. And once we get the jars out of there, then we'll put the jelly jars back in the boiling water and let that process for 5 minutes. Jams takes about 10 minutes, but jellies takes about 5 minutes to process. All right, we'll get back to you in a minute. All right, got a clock on the wall here. It's at 11:54. Put the jars in for 5 minutes of process. We're starting to boil a little bit now. So we can add our butter and our pectin. And we'll bring that to a rolling boil. And then add our sugar. Right, be back with you in a minute. Okay, we've added our lemon juice and our vanilla to it. We've had a rolling boil for right at a minute now, so now we're going to add our sugar and continue to stir it. Batch number 2. If y'all like these videos, I know it's a hassle and a pain in the butt if you see the link on Facebook. You click it, and it'll give you the option of going and watching it through YouTube, and it gives you the view. And when you hit the subscribe option, it tells you have to log in. If you don't have an account on YouTube, then you have to make an account to log in and everything. That is a hassle, I know it is, but there's not a whole lot in doing it. You only have to do it the one time, and you don't have to, if you get an account on YouTube, you don't have to make videos and stuff to maintain it. I may say Facebook, I don't know. But anyway, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go through the loops and everything, and jump through all the hoops it takes to do that. It'll help me up to my goal. I did reach 100 last night, so whoever the 100th person was, thank you very much. If you know who you were, comment below. I just kind of like to know who my 100th subscriber was. And we're on our way to 1,000, and me reaching some goals after that. So, and leave comments too. If that just all fits into the algorithm that YouTube has set up for become monetized, and that's where we're going. Our end goal, like I've said in a couple other videos before, is to help finance some foster kid camps that we attend during the week. All right, this comes to a rolling boil. Then turn that heat off, and these are ready to pull over here. I'm going to turn that off, kind of kill the rolling boil there. It's going to be entertaining to do this without a jar gripper. And the funny thing is, ow, gotta go ahead and cut that. All right, now we're going to get these processed for 5 minutes. I'll set them back out on the cooling rack and wait for the peen or the glass to break, whichever comes first. Remind me not to touch those because they're very, very hot. All right, I'm going to ladle the next one. Well, it smells good. You can smell the tartness and the cinnamon at the same time. It's got a smell kind of like apple cider is what I'm smelling, but a little bit of a sweeter smell. is going to be very, very good. I did stick my finger in the last batch. Taste it, and it was extremely good. This is my first time making sumac jelly, by the way. The Sumac 8 is so good that this can't keep from being good. Y'all need to try that Sumac 8. I'm telling you, you try it one time and you're gonna be like, wow, why didn't somebody ever show me how to do this before? That last batch come up about an inch and a quarter from the top of one jar, so I'm gonna go a little bit shallower with these and see if I can make it a little bit more even. Not that it makes a difference, just my OCD and my wife's. I think it bothered her more than it did me. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heat back on my water in the back while I get this last one done. And we'll get the rings on these and get those processed as well. Started to do that, but I know better. Very hard to get that sugar off the seal if you get it on there. It's better off not even going that route. A little bit more this time, Mark. Not really sure how that happened. All right, we'll let these cool for just a second, get the rings on them. Get them back in the water bath. Start batch number 3. Got the last ones going in the water bath right now for processing. In the meantime, I'm hearing a lot of pinging going on in these lids over here beside me. 4 jars there, or 8 jars there, and 4 more there, so ended up with 12 jars, 2 cups apiece, 24 cups. A cool, fun process. Now, if the first 3 people that make comments down below on YouTube will verify that I'm doing this, then I will give a jar of this away to the first 3 people that comment and say something about it. If you live in California, I don't know how to get it to you, so I guess out of luck there. But if you're where I can get you a jar of it, I will get it to you. First 3 people. All right, this has been another Outside Our Lane video, finishing up sumac jelly. If you're afraid of wild edibles, don't be. That's what we lived and sustained on for thousands of years, up until the last 100 years or so, and people kind of started shying away from wild edibles. So don't be intimidated by it. Get on YouTube. There's thousands and thousands of videos on there showing you how to process and eat wild edibles. Something I've always loved doing. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and that'll let me know to continue doing these as well. 'Cause I love doing this. All right, thanks a lot.